So honestly, I genuinely didn't even really want to make a video today. I had no interest in making a video. I had to drag myself into the shower. I had to drag myself to get up because all I wanted to do was to be a lump and to just be a bum and lay in bed and do absolutely nothing. We're talking about discipline over motivation. And it's having the discipline to realize that, okay, even though I don't want to do X thing, so in this case, it is making this YouTube video. Even though I don't want to do it, I have no motivation to do it, I have no energy, I didn't even know what I wanted to make the video about. And it wasn't until I started thinking about it, I was like, oh wow, okay, well, it kind of falls into play with the topic of discipline and motivation. So it was a whole bunch of different things that were kind of taking a role in me not wanting to make this video, but it was also just like, I felt so overwhelmed because I didn't know what I wanted to do. I took a deep breath. I realized that it was okay and that these feelings were normal and that every single person experiences lack of motivation, lack of creativity, lack of inspiration. But what you need to have is the discipline to be able to still create and to still do certain things even though you don't necessarily want to do them. I remember there's one person who was saying that a depressed person is a person who doesn't create, or is a creative person who doesn't create. And I was feeling very much depressed today. Like I said, I was a bum. I was just like lounging around doing absolutely nothing. And I had to get myself up. I had to do something. And for me, it was making this YouTube video. So again, like the first thing that I want to touch upon, you're not going to always have motivation. You're not always going to be inspired. You're not always going to want or have create a creative idea as to what you're going to do something or how you're going to do something. But to be able to still get yourself up to do it says so much and speaks volumes, because it shows that whatever it is that you're trying to do and you're trying to strive for, you want it bad enough. You want it bad enough. Like I wrote down that if I want better, I have to do better. If I want something, I can't keep doing the same things over and over and over again that weren't working previously and then expect them to work this time around when they haven't been working every other time since. So if I want better, I have to do better. And then it's also getting yourself up to do something even though you don't want to do it, and having discipline to do it. You will make your future self happy. You will be happy that you did it. You will be gracious that you did it, because then you could look back and be like, okay, well, I am working towards X goal, whatever that goal may be, or I'm trying to be better at this, and in order for me to break this habit, or in order for me to get closer to this goal, or whatever the case may be, I have to do this. I have to get up and I have to perform this activity. And by doing that, you are getting yourself closer to achieving that goal that you want, that you set for yourself. You're getting yourself closer to finishing that task, to making yourself a better version of yourself. And this is pretty much what this video is about, is making yourself a better version. And part of making yourself a better version is learning how to have discipline. And like I said, it's okay to get overwhelmed, because things can be overwhelming and it could make it very difficult to want to do something that you know that you have to do. But I can say the biggest thing not to do is don't allow yourself to procrastinate. Like, that is one of the biggest reasons that things become overwhelming, is because we let them sit for too long. If you let them sit for too long, then you're going to start overthinking, and it's going to snowball in your head, and you're going to have assumptions, and then this tiny little thing that once seemed to be easy enough is now this big grand scheme that feels as if it's unattainable. Like you can't accomplish it. So I can say the biggest thing that goes in line with discipline is don't allow yourself to procrastinate on whatever it is that you're trying to do. Because the second you start procrastinating, you start slipping further and further and further away from that discipline of, okay, well, I have to do this, because it makes it harder to be able to do said task or to accomplish said goal or whatever the case may be. Like I said, I had zero interest in making this YouTube video. Zero. And I knew that even though I didn't want to, I still absolutely had to, because I told myself that I was going to do it, that I was going to make this YouTube video. You have to show up for yourself. You have to show up for yourself. If no one else is going to show up for you, you at least have to show up for yourself. It's self-accountability. It's the ability to show yourself that you are deserving, that you are worthy, because you have the discipline and the self-accountability to show up for yourself when you say you're going to do certain things. And I told myself, and I even told my girlfriend, well, my girlfriend yesterday, that I was going to make a YouTube video today. So I decided that I was going to show up for myself, and I was going to keep that self-accountability and do what I said I was going to do, even though I had no interest in actually wanting to do it, even though I had no true inspiration at first. And I think partially the showing up for yourself and the self-accountability, it also, from at least for me, it stems from needing to be perfect. And when you feel that you need to be perfect, it makes it so much harder to show up for yourself, because it makes you not want to do it even more. And I think that's partially why I didn't even want to do this video, because I wanted it to be perfect. And I want perfection in like every single thing that I do. And that doesn't exist. Quite frankly, that just like doesn't exist. And even as I'm sitting here making this video, I'm trying to think about in the back of my head, okay, well, how can I make this perfect? How can I make this the video? And how can I do this? And how can I do that? Which in tow will make it so much more difficult for me in the future when it comes to me having to make a video. If I want to make a video, will I actually decide to make a video because I set a certain standard of it having to be perfect? No, I probably won't, even though I have the discipline. So it's making certain things obtainable in realistic ways that will help you to accomplish them and to actually work towards building that level of discipline to do the things you set out to do. Honestly, I think that's really about it for today's video. It's going to be a short one. I put out new videos every single Monday. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I hope this video was helpful. Don't forget to follow my Instagram page for updates on my channel. If we want to just be friends, we can be friends. Other than that, thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.